You're watching Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. Today's show is sponsored by Rex MD. You having trouble getting it up in the bedroom? Hey, no harm, no foul. Rex MD going to help you out. The #1 leader in men's telehealth. You don't even have to leave your house, and you're going to be able to get things back on track. RexMD.com/chat. More details on how you can get back on track in the bedroom coming up later on in the show. Let's get to your questions here on today's mailbag. We got the Bears with the super chat. Trade for Derrick Henry, especially after trading down. So he's saying trade down for #1 pick, get extra picks, throw one of those at Derrick Henry. Look, I like Derrick Henry a lot, but he's getting older. I mean, eventually he's going to slow down. I also don't know if his style maximizes this offense. Like, don't get me wrong. If this team got Derrick Henry, that would be cool, but he's an aging running back. He costs a lot. You got a ton of other needs. I just don't think the Bears make sense for where Derrick Henry's at in his career. From Poppy Chulo sits, if this is the 2024 draft, do we trade the #1 pick? Well, in the exact scenario, I think what he's saying is if Caleb Williams and Drake Maye were in this draft, would you just take one? And the answer is I don't know, but I'll say this. If another year goes by and you have the #1 pick next year, I think you're drafting a quarterback because that means one of two things happen. One, Justin Fields stunk this year, or two, he suffered a major injury. And I think in either scenario, I don't know if you can risk saying, okay, for sure Justin Fields is the guy. If you have the #1 pick back-to-back years, I think one of those 2 years you have to draft a quarterback. But at the same time, I don't expect the Bears to be picking #1 next year. So we'll see what happens this year. Hard to answer that question without knowing how 2023 plays out. From Big Baller 345, with Mecole Hardman having surgery, could we sign him at a discount? So Mecole Hardman, one of the better receivers that's set to hit the free agent market. Had a frustrating year with the Chiefs, got hurt mid-year with a pelvis injury, tried to come back for AFC title game, tweaked it again, missed the Super Bowl, and had surgery on Tuesday. Tom Pelissero confirmed the surgery, said he had successful groin surgery in Philadelphia. It cleared up the issue he was dealing with this past season, an intriguing free agent to be. And yeah, intriguing is the right word because he's very fast and he's very flashy, but he's kind of had inconsistent production. I mean, you look at his career, his first year, I mean, when he averaged almost 21 yards a catch, it's like, man, this guy could take off. And, he's getting those Tyreek Hill comparisons, which were unfair, obviously. But he never really ascended to even elite #2 type of receiver. I think he's like a really good #3 gadget guy. You can get him the ball 5 to 10 times a game. He can be a punt returner for you. He runs a 4.3, so he's explosive in space. Don't get me wrong, I would be very interested in him. But if you sign him, what happens to Velus Jones? He's a much better and more proven receiver than Velus is at this point, but we'll see what happens. Ryan Poles was in that front office when they drafted Hardman, so I wouldn't say no. Is he going to be at a discount due to the surgery? I don't know. I could see him getting over $10 million per year with that speed and with the thin wide receiver market this offseason. Would you give Mecole Hardman $10 million per year? Type O for yes, you'd give him over $10 million, or U for under. I'd probably cap at 10. I mean, I could see him getting 3 years, 36, though, man. It only takes one team to be like, yeah, that speed, let's bring him into our offense. O for over, U for under. Would you give Hardman $10 million per? Super chat from Keem. What's up, Harrison? What's up, Keem? Work has kept me busy, yada, yada, yada. He says he would franchise tag Monty due to he knows the system and he's a leader. I just think the $10+ million is too much. Even the transition tag of 8.5. I'd let him test the market, Keem. I would. I would let him go out there and see what he could get on the open market. And, if he comes back and a team's offering him $9-10 million per year, I say, hey, kudos to you. Go get the bag. But if he comes back and, he's getting $6 million offers, then, yeah, I'd probably pay him $6 million per. So we'll see what happens. I think that will be the Bears' approach, though. Shout out to RexMD for sponsoring today's show. And, fellows, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? We've all had those nights. Don't be embarrassed by it. Sometimes, nerves kick in or you've had a couple too many drinks. There's nothing worse, I will admit, than not being able to put the stick shift and drive, if you know what I'm saying. But have no fear, RexMD is here even when you've had too many beers. RexMD.com/chat up to 90% off. RexMD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored today's episode of Bears Now to keep you prepared. RexMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis very easy. It's all online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your doorstep. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, and no copay. So take advantage of our deal right now, the best deal they've ever offered, and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage. Use our exclusive link to get that deal. It's rexmd.com/chat. That is rexmd.com/chat. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available to our listeners who get started today. That's rexmd.com/chat. Link is in the description of this video and in the comment section as well. Get back on track in the bedroom without even leaving your house. rexmd.com/chat. Another super chat from Keem. Is it too soon to give up on Alex Leatherwood? Depends what you mean on giving up. They gave him some chances late in the season. He performed decently in one game. Otherwise, he didn't look the part. I don't think it's too soon, to just assume he's a starter. Like, to me, he's not a starter right now. I think he'll be on the 53 next year as a backup, but I do not think you should operate thinking he's going to be a starter on this offensive line next year. I think, you bring him on, you let him compete, and, hopefully to continue to develop him. But up to this point, he's not starting caliber. Ultra Instinct, if the Panthers offer the 9th pick, Brian Burns, and DJ Moore for the number 1 pick, do you take it? Move from 1 to 9, Burns and Moore. As crazy as this sounds, I don't think the Bears would want to absorb both those contracts. I think they'd rather have one of the guys and then get an extra future first. Maybe I'm crazy in saying that, but I just don't think they would want to do that. Ryan Poles wants to build through the draft, so he'd say, all right, give me one of these guys. We could use a receiver or an edge, and then throw next year's first and maybe a second this year as well, instead of Moore. Burns is the second player there. Subscribe to Bears Now if you want the latest Bears news, rumors, and much more coverage and videos here on the channel. We're bringing you videos every single day, sometimes multiple videos per day. So hit that subscribe button, and we will continue to keep you guys covered. Super chat from Lawrence. Do you think we're going to probably trade down and get a first next year? Will be a fuel to trade for a wideout this off season. I think, that's another thing if you trade down from 1 and get extra picks, because then you can flip a pick for a DeAndre Hopkins or something like that. If you get an extra second in there from Indianapolis or something. So, I think there's a lot of reasons why trading down makes sense, especially, getting an extra first next year. What if you come out of 2023 and you don't think Justin Fields is the guy? Well, if you have 2 first-round picks next year, it helps you go get that guy. If you want to go add a receiver on the trade market, well, you got extra picks to do so. So, in the end, trading down from number 1 is the most ideal scenario for the Bears. Comes down to what kind of trade offers they get at the end of the day. From Aaron Hunt, Hargrave is going to ring chase. Would be sick if we could, but the Bears won't be able to sign him. Jalen Carter plus free agent depth probably. That's possible. I will say this, though, Aaron. The Bears showed last season in a rebuilding transition year that they were willing to throw money at a 3-tech. They threw $42 million over 3 years at Larry Ogunjobi. Now, he failed his physical, and it never happened. But I think that's a position they're willing to invest in. I don't think they're just going to go super cheap. I mean, they have $100 million in cap space, and they have to reach a cap floor. So someone's got to take up some of that money, and I think signing a defensive tackle to eat up some of it makes a lot of sense. Don Burr says, nice Detroit shirt. Detroit versus everybody. Thanks for the super chat, Donnie. It's actually a Roan shirt. Go check out Roan. But, it's not a Lions shirt. But hey, welcome back. Predict the Bears' 2023 record, 17-game season. How many games will they win? How many will they lose? I dare someone to predict the record with a tie in there. That's next level if you do that. So predict the Bears' record for 2023. Keem back at it. Sign DJ Chark, Julio, or Noah Brown for 1 year. If I had to order that, I'd probably order it the way you did, Chark, Julio, or Brown. I don't know how much Julio's got left. I thought late in the year he showed a little something. He had a couple catches in that playoff game. Noah Brown's a 3 or 4 at best. He played a little better this year because he was forced into action for Dallas, but I'm not that high on him. And DJ Chark is like a cheap number 3 option, big body guy who can stretch the field a bit. I'm intrigued by him. I thought he was a guy the Bears should have looked at last offseason when Detroit signed him. We'll see if they're interested this year. From James Baklashev, what would it take for the Bears to get Tee Higgins? I'm guessing the Bengals, well, number one, I don't think the Bengals actually want to trade him. I think they would prefer to keep him. But if he becomes too expensive for them and they do take trade offers, I think they're going to want the A.J. Brown deal, first and a third. I don't know if he'll fetch quite that much, but I do think it'll cost at least a first. You're talking about a young receiver in his mid-20s who is a number 1 for a lot of teams. So it's going to cost you at least a 1. Might cost you a third or a day 3 pick as well. So that's kind of where it starts if I had to guess. Give me a follow on social media. If you didn't get your answer or question answered here, I can answer it over there. It's at HGramNFL on Twitter. Same handle on Instagram as well. If you want to reach out there, give me a follow, slide in the DMs, and I will get back to you on social media.